It was a little over 2.5 years ago that I put out a couple of videos on the Bosch GCM12SD Axial-Glide Dual-Bevel miter saw. And since that time, there's been thousands of views on those two videos and a lot of comments. Now, some of those comments were pretty much all the same in the form of a question. Have you noticed blade deflection when the saw is drawn all the way back? Well, so far I haven't. I haven't noticed it, but up until today, I haven't even checked it. So let's see. This is going to be new to me. This is not a reenactment. So here we go. Now there is one thing that I'd like to explain here, and that is that my workshop is generally not this cluttered usually. I've got a lot of stuff in here that I had in the other room where I was doing the welding on the chair. The chair is probably 2/3 done now. I'm at the point where I can start to upholster the back and the seat. Now I'm wondering, what kind of deflection are they talking about? There's several different ways the blade can deflect. Naturally, it's supposed to come straight back and not twist in any way. However, do they mean that by deflection that it's coming back, but it's going like this? You know, I realize I'm exaggerating something fierce here. That sort of deflection? Or do they mean that it goes twisting at an angle like this as it comes back? Or maybe the whole thing just goes in sort of an arc. You know, once again, I know I'm really exaggerating here. Or does it mean that, yes, the blade does stay parallel to the straight line, but it kind of goes like this? I don't know. And the only way I can figure out to check this, because I haven't noticed it in any of the kind of work that I've done. Now, mind you, I don't think I've ever put anything really wide on here that I can recall. Maybe I would have noticed it had I done that. But I think if I put a square up against the fence and then pull it all the way back and then watch the blade, well, let's just try it and see. This, by the way, this is all new to me. I am not in Bosch's pocket. If there's deflection, which I hope there isn't, I'll show it to you. So we're going to see this together for the first time. I think I'll fasten this back somehow. An elastic band should do it. Okay, now I don't want this so tight against the blade I can't pull it back. I think that's about as square as I can get it. Now the idea is, I guess, that as I pull it back, if there's deflection, you should be able to see it twisting in some form or another when it gets way back here. So I'm going to reset the camera so that I can see that. Well, here we go. This is actually the very first time I've tried this. I'm going to go all the way back and see what happens. Now, I didn't notice it at the time, but I accidentally bumped the camera lens with the saw when I pulled it out. But fortunately, it hasn't changed the results of the test here. Okay, that's it. That's as far as it'll go. Well, I'm not noticing anything. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap this end in. Let's see, when it's up like that, it's a little closer to the square than it is here. So why don't I just tap the square like this? See what happens now. Well, it's all the way back. That's as far back as it'll go. Maybe when I look at this on the monitor and I'm looking straight down. You know, it's possible that it is turning a little bit like this. But very, very slight. From the way people were talking, I thought it was something horrendous. I would have to say yes, there probably is a tiny bit of deflection right at the end here. But for me personally, well, I'm still happy. So what do I think now? Would this have been a deal breaker for me 3 years ago when I was going to buy this from Canadian Woodworker here in Winnipeg? Well, yeah, I think I saw something there. But for me, it was so slight that I don't think that would have made a difference. I think I was so impressed with all the other nice features that this saw had that my previous saw didn't. I probably would have bought this anyway. Now, that being said, I can envision where if you're going to be cutting something really thick and really wide, you know, like a 14-inch slab of something, it could give you a little bit of problems. For me, it's not going to make any difference. I'm still happy with the saw. And like I said, I'm not in Bosch's pocket. I'm not getting anything from them for saying this. So I'm still happy with this saw. And as for that deflection, well, maybe you saw something I didn't see. Maybe other guys are having bigger problems. I don't know. Maybe I got the second generation here, and maybe the early generations they've phased them out and they've changed the geometry in that axle movement or whatever they call it. Anyhow, I hope this answers the questions that people have been asking me for the last 2.5 or so years. So thanks for watching. Now here's an afterthought that I just remembered, and that is I can actually recall standing in Canadian Woodworker about 3 years ago when I was about to buy this saw, and I was looking at the one that they had on display, and I do recall wondering how good is this Axial-Glide system, and I do remember pulling the blade back and watching it as I was doing it. If there was anything really seriously wrong, I think I would have noticed it, and I would remember having noticed it.